And welcome from Hyperledger Global Forum in Dublin. I'm delighted to be joined by Ali Safri from Avanza Innovations. Hello, Ali.
Hello, hi, how are you?
Ali, would you introduce yourself and your role at Avanza Innovations, please?
Okay, so I'm Ali Safri and I'm the Chief Technology Officer at Avanza Innovations. Avanza Innovations loves to do work in the space of the private and public blockchain. And Hyperledger Fabric is one of the technologies that we have used across a number of consortia, number of implementation in the Middle East region. A number of implementations are there in UAE, it crosses across in Bahrain, in Saudi. There is an implementation for invoice verification and P2P purchase to pay use case. With Aramco, we are working with KNPC, which is another oil and gas organization within Kuwait. So there are a variety of use cases that we are working on. It is within this digital government transformation area, it is within the supply chain area, and it is for the financial regulation and supervision area as well. So we have experience with a number of verticals in implementation of the blockchain.
Oh, fantastic. Well, we're going to chat about a couple of specific areas here, particularly about consortia. And then finally, going to talk a little bit about what caught your eye about particular projects and working with the Hyperledger community. But turning to consortia, could you maybe explain to all what is the UAE Trade Connect project and what's that all about?
Okay, so there is a project in which multiple banks have come together and 8 banks are live with a solution for trade finance using the blockchain technology. Now, there is a invoice financing issue which is for the duplicate financing. So the issue happens like this, that a small SME goes and submits its invoice to a bank. The bank may do its due diligence and finance that particular SME. Now, what happens is that this SME, it doesn't stop it to go to some another bank and get the finance from them as well. Now, UAE is an expat-oriented country, so what they can do, they can take the next cheap flight and run away with all the funds, right? So this duplicate financing is a very big problem, and with this, what happens is that the banks are not willing to finance the SMEs because they see an inherent risk with this particular thing because they might not be sure about their performance. So this UAE Trade Connect, the banks along with an operator called Etisalat, which was the biggest telecom over there, combined to form a consortium called UAE Trade Connect. With this, what happens? Banks can securely share the invoice information because it is not sharing with the other bank. Now, on the blockchain, if there is a kind of a full match or a partial match, the bank is alerted across that this same organization has come to get a duplicate finance. So they would be careful across in financing that. So that way, they have found out certain frauds as well. And the value that they have uncovered for the frauds is more than the investment they have put across. So that's why for the last 1.5 years, there had been 8 banks which are already live. And this year, they plan for the UAE Trade Consortium to increase the number of banks to 14. So that's where the consortium is going across for the UAE Trade Content.
So to recap, 8 banks going to 14. It's a focus on trade finance. It's focused, why that's important, because it's prone to, as we know, to fraud and to manipulation. How it works is that, if you could maybe just elaborate on how it works and how the Hyperledger Foundation helped accelerate the adoption of that.
Okay, so at the heart of the blockchain layer, this is Hyperledger Fabric that is being utilized there. Hyperledger Fabric latest version, which is 2.3, it is being available as part of this particular solution. Now, each of the bank has a node, and there is a channel established between a governance operator, which is this particular UAE Trade Connect organization itself, and each of the banks. So what happens is that each of the banks, they have been provided certain APIs or a user interface via which they will submit the invoice information. And it could be electronic information as well, and it could be an invoice image. So there is a OCR that is applied together to fetch the data, and this data goes and sit in an encrypted format into this particular blockchain layer. Now, this other bank, when the invoice is submitted across, it checks across, is there any similar invoices? So with the same invoice number, with the same buyer, with the same supplier, and there could be fuzzy and partial matches as well. So depending on that, whoever is submitting the invoice, they will get a score that there is a duplicate invoice available in the platform or there is no duplicate invoice available in the platform, based on which bank can more wisely finance those particular transactions.
Just, I know a lot of our folk tuning in are interested super in technology and project management, all the things that are happening here. If there's one particular experience from their project that contributed to its success, what would that be you'd like to share with our audience?
The biggest contributor to the success was taking the whole consortium members together. So right. The good thing about the design of the process was that the slogan was, the system is designed for the banks, by the banks.
For the banks, by. So 8 to 14 is amazing,
yes,
isn't it?
So they created a kind of a committee in which they created 3 kind of teams. One was the IT stream, one was the business stream, and one was a governance or compliance stream. So there were people selected from each of the banks which were actually part of those particular streams. Yeah. So whatever solution was conceived, it was conceived together. And that's why when the implementation happened, everybody was on board. Even this compliance team went across to the authorities like the central bank to get their kind of a buy-in that such a national ecosystem is being created across.
Amazing. Congratulations. By the banks, for the banks. I love it. Where can folk find out more about UAE Trade Connect?
Okay, so UAE Trade Connect, you can go to the website as well. And on the Avanza side, since Avanza Innovation is the implementation partner for this particular solution, on the Avanza website, you can also get more information
case
about
studies. And fantastic. Yeah. Just one final question, Ali. If there's one thing you'd want to share with our audience about what value the Hyperledger Foundation community brings to your work at Avanza and to you personally and to UAE Trade Connect, what would that be?
Okay, so with the Hyperledger community, the thing is, it is quite much dynamic and vibrant. There are new features that are being implemented in every other release. There are practical problems that comes across, and the good thing is that you have channels to raise those things, and within the next roadmap, such kind of features which the community or the implementators are telling across that these are the kind of the challenges that are being heard and put together in evolution form. So that's why it has matured quite much. We have been implementing from the 0.6 version of the Hyperledger, which was like a disastrous version, but with all the releases that came after it, at the production level, it is very, very mature, stable, and production ready. So yeah.
Enterprise grade.
Enterprise grade, yeah.
Fantastic. Ali, thank you so much for sharing. Congratulations again on UAE Trade Connect. Absolutely fantastic. And going from 8 to 14 contributor banks, by the banks, for the banks. Thank you so much, Ali.
Thank you.
Thank you.